the 2000, excuse me, that's the 1914 Braves. I covered them, Hugh. It was a rowdy bunch.
Terry,
But really, that was
I
the
have a
last
number of
one.
comments.
Yeah,
Number
but
one,
the
I
big
don't want
one,
Austin Hedges to ever retire. I love watching Hedges. I know I can
neither
hit
did
more than Hedges can, but I don't ever want him to retire. Do you?
no, because you certainly can't catch like he can. And if you
No.
notice, in some of the biggest games they have, they put Hedges behind the plate, especially with the young pitchers, to kind of guide him through it. But the remarkable thing is on August 24th, so that's like 6 weeks before the end of the season, the Guardians were still 12 and a half games behind the Tigers, who then went into a massive, epic collapse. And the Guardians went on even more of an epic winning streak. And they came down to these last games this weekend, and they won one game with the bases loaded. Oh, and there's Brian Rocchio hitting a home run on the last day of the season off the foul pole. They were down by 3 runs, and everybody's running out of the dugout, and they're celebrating. And Hugh, it's just so much fun when a team is an underdog team. And
It
Cleveland's
is.
always been
Now,
an underdog
your
too.
wife, Roberta, she likes Rocchio and Kwan, right? They were her
Yes,
two guys. And so
yes.
she's got to be in seven. The fetching Mrs. Hewitt does not care for sports. So she's put up with 148 seasons since we started courting,
Yeah.
one of which has resulted in a ring. Roberta is a saint because she's lived your life with you, and you actually have to go to these games. I can turn them off. Tell
Right.
me about her reaction to this comeback.
Well, she, first of all, I mean, she follows them. She didn't know anything about sports until we started dating and got married. But she would go to spring training with me and watch there. And then she would just kind of watch a guy. And one was Stephen Kwan, who's become a two-time All-Star and that. And another was Brian Rocchio. At the time we saw them, they were just minor league guys. And she would just say, "Oh, I like that guy. I like this guy." So the great thing there is maybe they ought to hire in a scouting department because some of the guys I were on, names like Owen Miller, if you don't know Owen Miller's name, there's a
Oh
reason for that.
yeah,
Take it.
yeah. Ha,
So that's
ha,
been a lot of
did
fun. So she's enjoyed it, but she doesn't watch every inning or anything like that. She reads just about all my stories before they go in, and she's got the rosters cross-checking because that's one thing about the internet age. There aren't as many editors as there once were, and but she knows her stuff. We've been married
now do you
48
think
years.
the 1995 Tribe will be back in the stadium on Tuesday?
Um, I wish they would be in the lineup. That's for sure.
I
Those
know,
guys could roll.
Tommy. Can we get Tommy and Albert Bell?
Yeah, please. I mean, any of those guys. This is, I started calling them, the little team that could around August when they started to play well, like the little engine that could, because nobody believed that could happen. They could climb the hill. A guy sent me in, Jim Tomrowski sent me, this one of the readers sent me a thing called them the Cardiac Kids, because Cleveland had the Cardiac Kids back in 1980. I thought that was pretty clever. And we're having a lot of fun with this, Hugh. I mean, this is the classic. Nobody thought this was going to happen. And the way it happened has been so remarkable. They won one big game when the guy got hit by a pitch with the bases loaded. It was kind of like I'm thinking, well, they can't hit, maybe they can get hit with the ball at the
Yeah.
right time.
I was
That'll
explaining
win
that to
games.
my wife at dinner last night, and I said that's never happened in the history of baseball that a postseason position was clinched by a hit batman. You made a comment about Parker Messick, which I can't forget. You compared him to Mickey Lolich. Now, I got friends in Detroit that I went to high school with. They were down here for 4 years in Warren. They went back to Detroit. He's gone radio silent because I think he's depressed. But he would laugh. We laughed at Mickey Lolich, the classic, I'm not an athlete,
Hmm.
I'm a baseball player. Does Parker Messick really look like Mickey Lolich?
Yeah. I mean, he's listed at like 6'1" and 225 pounds, and it's kind of around the middle. He pitches like Mickey Lolich. Now, I'm not saying he's going to be as good as Lolich was really good. He was borderline Hall of Fame. But he's this left-hander who works the corner, seems to know what he's doing. He's from Winter Haven, which is where the tribe used to, old Cleveland Indians used to train. And he was my guy in this spring training that before he pitched in big leagues. I
Oh,
really liked him. So at least finally
well,
got
I'm
one
very
right.
optimistic about the future. I'm very optimistic about Steve Vogt. I'm praying for a Tito vote series, which would be just the baseball gods smiling
Right.
on America. But when you
And by the way,
recorded, go
you
ahead.
mentioned Terry Francona. I'm going to ask you this: how do you feel about the Mets missing the playoffs yet again?
You know, Governor Christie talks to me whenever he's not mad at me, and we talk about
Yes.
the Lindor deal. And I think we won the Lindor deal. We won the deal for Savali for Manzardo, and we've lost
Hmm.
some deals, but I think we won the Lindor deal. What do you think?
Well, first of all, if they'd have paid Lindor, they couldn't have paid anybody else. So that's correct.
True.
But this is an interesting thing. Lindor, since he went, took $341 million to go to the Mets. That was in 2021. The Mets have made the playoffs twice. In the meantime, the Guardians have been winning their division in 3 of the last 4 years with Jose Ramirez, I think actually is a better player than Lindor. The Lindor is terrific, and with about half the payroll and all that. So we
You
kind of
you
are.
cannot talk enough about Jose Ramirez on Cherry
Oh,
Talkin'. And again, I recommend everyone. It's at Apple iTunes, at Spotify, wherever you get it. Terry knows more about sports. Will forget more about sports than you know. And Dave Campbell is sneaky smart on hockey and a few other things. I mean, really sneaky smart. It's the two smart guys sitting around talking about Cleveland sports. Terry, it'll be Gavin Williams and Tanner Bybee. Am I right about number one and number two
yeah,
on
the
tomorrow
number
and
one and
Wednesday?
number two, and pitching
And
for.
who would be three if we need a third game?
I'm guessing it would probably be Robert Parker Messick or um, Cantillo. Two guys you don't know their names. They're rookies, so that's what
Yeah,
they would be going
I'm
with.
hoping it's Messick. And who
Yeah.
did you make a guess at who the unsung hero is, if there is an unsung hero?
All right, unsung hero. Well, I mean, he's well known in Cleveland now, but I'm going to go with, I mean, not just Jose Ramirez, but Stephen Kwan. That's Roberto's guy. Furthermore, he's got a career like 340 batting average in the postseason.
Don't you always walk him if there's any trouble at all and he comes to the plate late in the game?
Well, you
Don't you
always
just
walk
walk
Jose
Quan?
Ramirez. You walk Jose
True.
Ramirez, but not totally. Stephen Kwan's a leadoff guy, so maybe not. But he's had some big hits. And if you watch the games, he is not good. He is a great, perhaps the best defensive left fielder I've ever seen. I mean, he's a guy, he was a fifth round pick by the Guardians out of Oregon State. That was his only Division One offer. And as he told me, he said he had to fight the imposter syndrome because he's like 5'9", Asian, doesn't look like a ball player, sure plays like one.
And I want to make sure in the minute we have left, I want to put a nail in the coffin that the Dolans aren't good owners. The Dolans are great owners. They have figured out how to be a small market club up against the Mets and the Dodgers. Do you agree?
Absolutely. I mean, they have had in the last 13 years, they've had 11 winning seasons. They've been to the playoffs 7 times. It's hard to match that. And the it's not just a baseball's not just decided on how much money you spend. It often is decided maybe how well you pick your players and how well they play.
And Antonetti and John Hart, and I'm forgetting the guy Shapiro, and now they got Chertoff. They've got great guys in the front office. They had Tito, and now they got Vogt, and they got Terry Pluto covering them, and Jimmy Watkins coming up, and Dave Campbell, and Hoinsey, I think, coined the team streak moniker, which I like as well. Terry, I hope we talk next Monday about the Mariners series ahead. Thank you, friend.